Ever feel like communicating with someone from a different generation can be tricky? Whether you're a manager, a young leader, or even within your family, the generation gap can easily lead to misunderstandings, lack of clarity, or even conflict. We're in an era where multiple generations are working together, starting from baby boomers, the second generation founders, to Gen X executives, and of course millennials and Gen Z, bringing in creativity and technology to the workplace. Even within families, grandparents and their kids or grandkids are finding ways to bridge that gap and better understand each other. If you've ever wondered how we can connect across generations to create more collaboration and understanding, you're in the right place. Let's dive in and explore the answers together in this episode. Let's start with a real-life situation. Picture this scenario. In a company meeting, the second-generation founder, who belongs to the baby boomer generation, and senior executives from Gen X are discussing changes to the organization. Gen X suggests adopting new technology to improve efficiency, but the baby boomers argue that the current system works just fine and making changes might be too risky. The conversation starts getting tense when both sides can't see eye to eye. The baby boomers stand firm on the stability and experience they've gained over the years, while Gen X focuses on innovation and keeping up with modern trends. In the end, the generational divide causes the decision-making process to stall. Or take another example within a family. Grandpa complains that the grandkids spend too much time on their phones, while the younger generation just doesn't get why older folks make such a big deal about technology. These situations show how the generation gap can lead to misunderstandings, whether it's in the workplace or at home. But the real question is, how can we bridge this gap and foster better cooperation and understanding? Breaking it down by generation. To better understand the generation gap, let's take a look at how each group differs. Every generation has its own attitudes, work styles, and values that reflect the experiences and times they grew up in, which is why their perspectives can be so different. Baby boomers, born 1946 to 1964. This group grew up during a time of post-War II economic boom. They value stability, hard work, and perseverance to achieve success. Baby boomers tend to be loyal to their organizations and generally avoid taking big risks. Major changes are often seen as too risky for them. Generation X, born 1965 to 1980. Gen Zers grew up during a period of economic uncertainty and shifting family structures. They're known for their high adaptability and independence, with a focus on efficient, sustainable work. Gen X is good at embracing technology and change, but they still prioritize a healthy work-life balance. Millennials, born 1981 to 1996. Millennials came of age in the era of digital technology and the internet. They're open-minded, flexible, and quick to adapt to change. Millennials value balancing work with personal life and seek meaning and purpose in their jobs. They also tend to expect rapid growth and advancement in their careers. Generation Z, born 1997 to 2012. Gen Z has grown up with technology as a natural part of daily life. They're social media savvy and accustomed to using online platforms. Creativity and multitasking second nature to this generation. Gen Z values independence, equality, and is often passionate about social issues like sustainability and diversity. Why is there a gap? The generational gap stems from different life experiences. For example, baby boomers believe that success comes from hard work and loyalty to a company, while millennials and Gen Z look for flexibility and alignment with their personal values. Another key factor is the different relationships each generation has with technology. Baby boomers may see technology as something new and complex, whereas Gen Z sees it as a natural part of everyday life. How to bridge the gap? Now that we understand the differences between generations, the next step is to find ways to bridge this gap to foster understanding and effective collaboration, whether at work or within families. Here are some tips on how to close the generation gap. Effective communication. Communication is key to fostering understanding. Each generation may have different preferences for how they communicate. For example, baby boomers might prefer face-to-face conversations, while Gen Z might lean towards online chats. Adjusting communication styles to fit each generation and using clear, easy-to-understand language can reduce misunderstandings and increase collaboration. Being open to differences. Acknowledging that each generation has its own experiences and viewpoints is a crucial first step. Listening to everyone's opinions without rushing to judge helps foster greater understanding. For example, Gen X may feel they have valuable experience in problem solving, while Millennials may bring fresh, creative ideas. Being open to both perspectives can strike a balance between innovation and stability. Using technology and tools together. Technology can be a great bridge between generations. Collaboration tools like Slack or Microsoft Teams allow everyone, regardless of age, to work together efficiently. Baby boomers might need some guidance on how to use these tools, while Gen Z can offer their tech expertise. Working together on technology helps build understanding and better relationships. Creating collaborative spaces. In the workplace, creating an environment that encourages idea sharing and teamwork across generations is key. This could include informal meetings or collaborative projects where all age groups contribute. These opportunities help everyone feel valued and promote learning from one another. Developing cross-generational management skills. Managers should be equipped with skills to handle a diverse age group. They should know how to motivate and solve problems in ways that suit each generation. For instance, baby boomers might appreciate recognition for their long-term contributions, while millennials may seek challenges and opportunities for growth. In summary, bridging the generation gap isn't difficult if we focus on good communication, being open to differences, and using tools that encourage collaboration. By doing this, both the workplace and family environments can become more harmonious and effective. Real-life examples. To make things clearer, let's hear from real people in different generations as they share their experiences. Some have faced challenges, while others have successfully bridged the generation gap. Interview with baby boomers, second-generation founder. Mr. John, 65 years old, has been running his company for nearly 30 years. He shared, "I wasn't really confident about adopting new technology at first. I was used to traditional ways of working, and they seemed to work well for me. But when younger people started joining the company, they introduced new ideas and tools I wasn't familiar with. In the beginning, there was some conflict, but I decided to open up and give them a chance. Turns out the results were much better. The challenge was in changing myself, but it was definitely worth it." Interview with millennials, young professional. Mr. James, 32 years old, works as a marketer at a startup. He said, "When I first started working at a company with multiple generations, I felt like baby boomers didn't understand why we needed to change so quickly. I tried to explain that using technology makes things faster. There were some misunderstandings at first, but after we opened up and talked, I realized they have a lot of valuable experience. Once we found common ground, everything started running much more smoothly." Interview with Gen Z, newcomer. Mr. Alex, 24 years old, recently started working at a tech company. He shared, "For a Gen Z like me, working with older generations can be challenging. They think differently from me in so many ways. Sometimes I feel like using new technologies quickly is seen as too complicated for them. But after we talked and I showed them how it helps get the job done faster, they started to accept it and let us incorporate more technology." In summary, these real-life examples show that bridging the generation gap takes time and effort. But when we open up and are willing to listen to one another, we can find the right solutions and work together more smoothly. Practical tips you can use right away. To wrap up, let's go over some techniques and tools you can apply right now, whether at work or with family, to build better relationships across generations. Active listening. One of the most important skills for bridging the generation gap is active listening. This means listening without interrupting or jumping to conclusions. Truly listening helps you better understand the other person's perspective and reasoning. Whether in meetings or family conversations, active listening leads to more effective communication and reduces conflict. Multigenerational teamwork. Build teams with members from different generations to work together. This allows everyone to share their unique experiences and ideas. For example, baby boomers can offer their wealth of experience, while millennials or Gen Z can bring their tech-savvy skills to the table. Working in a multi-generational team promotes learning from one another and makes everyone feel more included. Engage in cross-generation activities. Organize activities that allow different generations to get to know each other better. Whether it's team-building events at work or shared activities within the family like cooking together, playing games, or even taking trips, these experiences create a relaxed and fun atmosphere where people can communicate more freely and build stronger bonds. Use technology to stay connected. Technology can be a great tool to connect generations. Encourage the use of communication platforms that are easy for everyone to use, like Zoom, Slack, or Microsoft Teams. Additionally, having Gen Z or millennials teach baby boomers how to use technology can be a great way to foster collaboration and mutual learning. Give constructive feedback. Each generation should focus on giving constructive feedback that promotes growth and understanding rather than simply criticizing. Good feedback shows empathy and a genuine desire to help improve things together, avoiding judgments that only highlight negatives. In summary, bridging the generation gap is something we can all do by using these simple techniques. Whether it's through listening, working together, or enjoying fun activities as a group, building understanding and positive relationships between generations creates an environment where everyone can work and live happily and efficiently together. Adding some fun. To make the discussion about the generation gap more engaging and less serious, adding humor through familiar comparisons for each generation is a great way to keep the audience entertained and connected to the topic. Here's how we can highlight the differences in what each generation is used to. Comparing old-school tools with modern gadgets. Imagine baby boomers using a typewriter at work, typing out each letter slowly and carefully. Now compare that with millennials and Gen Z wearing sleek laptops, easily editing documents or working in the cloud. Or take phones. For instance, baby boomers might fondly remember using rotary phones, dialing each number one at a time, while Gen Z can do almost everything with a smartphone, from making calls to managing their smart home devices just by using their voice. Different communication styles. Another fun example is how each generation communicates. Baby boomers and Gen X were used to using landlines to share news or schedule meetings via letters. Millennials grew up with email and chat, but Gen Z, they've barely touched a landline. They communicate almost entirely through apps or social media. Just imagine asking Grandpa to type emojis in a Gen Z group chat. How adorable and fun would that be? Technology in daily life. Comparing how generations use technology is also fascinating. Think about grandparents trying to figure out how to use a modern TV remote with all its buttons, while their grandkids simply use voice commands on a smartphone to turn on the TV instantly. Or the internet. Baby boomers probably remember waiting for web pages to load slowly, while Gen Z gets frustrated if their Wi-Fi is even a second too slow. In summary, sharing these stories not only adds humor and creates a relaxed atmosphere, but also helps the audience see how society and technology have evolved over the years. Comparing everyday things like communication tools or how technology is used in daily life makes the generation gap feel less complex and shows that we can learn to live together and have fun along the way. Conclusion. Bridging the generation gap isn't just about understanding differences, it's about creating opportunities to learn and grow together. The things that distinguish us by age, whether it's mindset, values, or familiarity with technology, are strengths that enhance our potential. When everyone in an organization or family can appreciate and respect these differences, we can build something great by combining the wisdom of older generations with the creativity of the younger ones. Connecting across generations isn't about abandoning what we've held on to, but about opening our minds to learn and adapt, moving forward together. Differences shouldn't be seen as a gap that divides us, but as a bridge that unites the strengths of each generation. Open communication, active listening, and embracing change are the keys to working and living together harmoniously. The more we recognize the unique qualities in each generation, the more we can build a stronger, more balanced community and organization. Ultimately, the generation gap is not something to fear or avoid. Instead, it's an opportunity to embrace diversity, learn from one another, and work together to create something better in all areas of life, whether at work or in the family. These differences become a force that propels us toward a brighter future. Join the conversation. How do you connect with people from different generations in your life? Share your experiences and tips in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the Awakened Way channel for more valuable insights on personal growth, mindfulness, and navigating life's challenges. Hit the bell to get notified of our latest videos.